Hello everyone and welcome to the Spanish Grand Prix for Season 6 DRZ. Here is your driver lineup for today. On pole position is Wards in the Ferrari, P2 is Azspec in the Ferrari, and P3 is PLH in the Red Bull. In P4 is Joe in the Alpine, in P5 is Nolly in the Mercedes, and P6 is Detective in the Mercedes. P7 is Enzo in the RB, P8 is King Bob in the Sauber, and P9 is Hossein in the Alpine. And with that being said, let's get on with today's race. The Tier 1 Season 6 Spanish Grand Prix is about to be underway. The 5 red lights are on, and they're out and away they all go. The drivers left before the lights went out. That was weird. Down into towards turn 1. Joe by home immediately. He's gotten a good start off the line. Down into turn 1. Wards holds the lead. Azspec P2. Joe and Nolly P3. And Joe, no, they're side by side. They're fighting. Everyone's squabbling together. Hossein, the only one who didn't get off the line. But the rest of the field, they're all squabbling for neck and neck. P3 is under attack. Joe is fighting the best he can. Enzo is also trying to fight his way up the field, but it looks like PLH has had a bad start, and he's dropped down to 5th place. I'll enable track map, as Hossein is now retired from the session. It's the same thing as last week. But PLH trying to fight back after what happened, but looks like it's not working for him. He's fallen behind Detective. And as for the Ferraris, they've led off P1, P2. As we're on lap 8 of this race now, going on to lap 9. Next lap, sorry, not this lap. As the Detective flies past his teammate. Not even put up a fight. As PLH also gets by on one straight. I guess that's the power of DRS and ERS combined. But PLH up to P5. Maybe trying to get past Detective now on lap 8 of this race. The battle is on. King Bob wasn't able to really pop a strike against the others there. And Enzo in his own world, really. He's fallen off as well in terms of pace. But here is where the battle is, because the DRS flies open. Detective is trying to defend that position. The Red Bull PLH, though, flies past him on the main straight with the power of the DRS. Nolly closing in, but not close enough to make a move on his teammate yet. King Bob in the mix as well. He's trying to get involved, and he does get by Detective. It looks like he has to back out. He's got the inside line. King Bob going wide and losing the position again, but he has a stronger exit, and he gets back past King Bob. But King Bob gets pushed wide, nearly completely off the apex, as Detective pulls into the pits. Enzo and King Bob side by side. Enzo takes 6th place out of nowhere. He's come back into this race, and now he's catching up to Nolly as fast as he can. They both have DRS down into turn 1. Will King Bob go for a move? Not quite. He backs out of it. Wow. As King Bob, no, not King Bob, Detective moves on to the hard compound tyres for this race. So you're going from a soft to hard strategy. Okay, interesting. Certainly a one-stopper. Yeah, Enzo has boxed. Enzo into the pits then. Next driver to pit. Will the undercut have worked? Will Detective catch up, or will he stay behind Enzo? Into the pits, onto the hard compound tyre, I believe that is. Yes, that is the hard compound tyre. It's going to be close, because on the main straight is Detective. On the pit exit is Enzo, and he passes Enzo. And look at Enzo there. There's not much of a gap between them, but it is a gap. Oh no, okay, it's quite a big gap to be fair. But it's Enzo coming in the pit. Sorry, I thought King Bob had stopped twice there. I got really confused. But yeah, that is what's going on right now. We've got Enzo retiring the pit, sorry. So our second retirement of the day, Enzo and Hossein, the only 2 drivers to not finish this race so far. Enzo, I guess, just getting bored or maybe having to go. Not too sure, but either way, he's done. And Azspec is closing in rapidly on Nolly, who has not stopped yet. So we will see Azspec adopt the lead of this race, and Ward's nowhere near him. There will not be a fight for P2. It will be a 1-2 for Ferrari without a doubt. He's definitely not going to be able to win this race, as he goes wide there, and Azspec takes the gap, and he's going to go for it. They're going to be very close, and I think he's gotten the position as he now decides to surrender and comes into the pit lane. Well, let's see where this puts him. PLH is 100% going to overtake him. Joe is 100% going to overtake him. Maybe even his teammate will. I think he's lost quite a lot of time through staying out that long. Yeah, he may be on fresher softs, but at the end of the day, he's stayed out way too long. He's lost too much time because look, even Detective's passed him. And then King Bob King Bob's too far back, but yeah, P6 for him. Looks like. And the Ferraris have caught into each other's grasp again. So Wards has caught up. Now we may see they either work together still, or they start to get a bit more heated and they start to battle for position. We'll look to the Ferraris, because will there be an incident? Will there be an attack on the last lap of this race? Here we go, on the main straight. The Ferraris look to actually be squabbling. Wards is going to go for the lead of this race. Aspec's going to try and cover him off. Down into turn 1, the Ferraris finally coming into contact with each other and actually squabbling with each other. As Aspec is forced to take the run. Oh no, yeah, Aspec is forced to take the runoff, and he drops to P2 on the last lap of the race. Wards strikes and he gets into the lead, but that will be a controversial move indeed. That will probably be a ticket after the race, knowing these two, but we'll see what happens. Wards leads this race now. On the last lap, he makes his move and he gets it done on the Ferrari on his Ferrari teammate Aspec on the last lap as well. And Aspec now picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. It's not going to drop his position, but it is a time penalty regardless, so it's going to affect him. You know, yeah, actually, it won't have an effect on him on the track, but it's still something to not be so happy about. But Wards won on track last week and will win on track this week. Obviously, a bit of controversial move on the last lap, but it is what it is. Across the line, he will win the Spanish Grand Prix, and he goes into the wall as he does it. And Aspec follows in P2. Obviously not going to be happy after that, as Joe comes out the final corner and he takes P3 as PLH suffers a little and he's got into the wall and he's crashed out of the race. But oh no, just as he goes across the line, he is lucky he went across the line as he went into the wall, as Detective finishes P5 and Nolly P6. P7, oh god, King Bob, he's doing donuts.